Hello, hello, and welcome to Paint Minis Live. I'm your host, Bill T, coming at you from the Creation Cave. Tonight, we're kind of going to be doing a menagerie of stuff. It's Wednesday. A lot of the players for James F. Keck's games, a lot of them just kind of had some packed schedules, so we decided that it'd be good to skip this week's session, and then we would reconvene next week for some more role playing Wednesday fun here on PML. So that's what we are doing today. I thought it would be a nice time to kind of start, I guess, wrapping up some of these projects. I think tonight we're going to be doing some seal coating of minis with some good old matte varnish with the airbrush. We will also be sealing some of the orcs and dwarves and other tiddly bits. We'll make sure everything's right and tidy before we totally seal them up. But I think it's kind of an important thing to go over since a lot of folks, a lot of folks want to protect their artwork, and when I first got into airbrushing, I knew not a lot about matte varnish or how to apply it, how to mix it, various things of that nature. So I think that's what we are going to be going after today. If you'll excuse me, it looks like some of my brushes have rolled back underneath my spray booth. What else is there to talk about for news and upcoming events and such crazy shenanigans that we like to get up to here? Not really a ton, to be honest. We're still plugging away on this project. I really haven't scheduled anything until after Cal's Abyssal Dwarves leave the paint studio and head their way to sunny California. So, with that being said, yeah, we're gonna be creating a new kind of roadmap, I guess, beyond Roleplay Wednesday for some other shenanigans. So keep on the lookout for that. We'll see what else we can fit in during the week. But it's Wednesday, my friends, and let's get into our painting. Feel free to grab yourself a nice cup of tea, a cup of coffee, soda, whatever you'd like. Roll up your sleeves and paint with us here. So I'm just gonna grab some gloves and get all gloved up. It's never a good painting session without some tunes. So we'll start off the playlist here. So that'll be good. What a day it's been. I'm telling you. Bumped up the weights at the gym today. I've been doing the workout stuff in prep for the CPAT test, so that's always a fun time. I feel like I kind of restart from nothing when I up the weights. But you know what? That's okay. We're making some progress. Let's get the other camera in here too. Why don't we do that? That sounds like a good idea. All right. So I've got it on the spray booth right now, just because it's where we're gonna be doing most of the things. But last session, so on Monday, we got our orc here. These are just some guys we based for Cal's Orcs and Dwarves. This guy's done up in silver. We did some highlights and whatnot with the airbrush on him. We also did up our color shift armor on our dwarves as well. It's kind of their base color. It's really kind of cool. I do like that color. Yeah, we made a couple other things happen last session. We're just gonna go through and kind of, I guess, pick out some details on them a little bit later. But for now, we're gonna have to zoom this bad boy all the way out. We've got this massive dragon here, and I've been working on this bad boy for quite a while. Um, it looks really nice. It's an adult silver dragon sculpt from the WizKids line. I saw this at a shop. I think they were having a hard time turning it because I could see that they had put over the price sticker a couple of times, and by that point in time, they're just trying to move the model. So I picked it up. I thought, hey, I got the tools and the want to do this. So we picked it up. Hello, Road March. It's good to see you. Do you take musical requests? Unfortunately, not at this time. I do not take musical requests right now. But hey, maybe in the future I can, I'm still on that train to coming up with some of my own tracks to blop around here on PML. So the sky's the limit. Let's take Scrub Sapien is in the house too. Sup man, been lifting, too sore chest at the moment. All right, yeah, you've been working them chest muscles. I'm on the arms and legs train right now. I haven't quite got a routine down for the chest yet, but I'm sure when I hit that point, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But so yeah, this dragon turned out really well. I think one thing that I'd kind of like to do with it before I totally seal it up is just give it a quick silver dry brush. I love using Citadel Nuln Oil. It's kind of black. They're black shade. I love using it over silver because I think it having that contrast is really really cool. But it did the drawback to acrylic washes like this is that coffee stain. And I think I just maybe overdid it, which is okay. It's a large model, and you're gonna have stuff like this kind of creep up. With a big model like this, it's all about just kind of where your eyes go. And I think the head is an important part of this. I mean, it's just a very nice conglomeration of blues for the head and the brass. It definitely takes the eye towards that area. I think the claws are an important part too, just because they're lighter than the rest of the model. But yeah, we're gonna run a dry brush over that bit too, I think. So again, it's just a menagerie of small little things that that'll make these projects kind of stand out, as well as protect them for the future too. And again, we'll be doing some seal coating of these models tonight. I would usually do a spray can with a model like this. I would definitely be doing a spray can varnish, but it's really cold out. We hit a cold front up here in snowy Minnesota, and yeah, it's too cold outside to use that. It's gonna just get sticky on you if you try and I've got a can of Vallejo, like a rattle can of Vallejo matte varnish, and I don't think it's gonna work out so hot. So again, it's just it's one of those drawbacks. Certain places are too humid, certain places are too warm. So let's check out where everybody's coming from. So we got four live chat lounge cats viewing the stream. Anywho, yeah, we're gonna get down with the dry brush on this dragon her, and we'll get it sitting pretty. Find our silver here. There's dark silver. I just had silver out. Oh, what do you know? It's sitting right in front of me. I'm gonna be using Pro Acryl, just their standard silver. I think we can get away with it. Dark silver is gonna be a little bit too dark, so I'm gonna throw this on the paint shaker, and I will be right back once our paint is all shaken up. All right, and we're back. We got the compressor working hard to get back up to PSI. We got our dry brush here. I tend to just do this on a paper towel, you know, this dry brush technique, and we're gonna zoop this camera on over here. Let's see if we can't. Yeah, there we go. You're kind of getting a side-eye shot of this, but oh well. So I'm gonna take a little dab of silver paint. I'm not even gonna water this down. It's just a little drop or two. I don't know exactly how much we're gonna need, but I tend to err on the lighter side. Lumineth Realm Lords. Now that sounds fun. Take a little bit of this silver paint here. I mean, just a little bit. I don't need a lot. I just need the brush to kind of kiss the paint. You can kind of see it there. This is a very little amount. Let's start rubbing that paint out on my. There we go. I'm gonna rub out the most of it onto my little wipe, and then we're gonna bring it on over to our model. We'll start dry brushing right onto the scales. We'll start with someplace a little bit more inconspicuous. Oh, see, now this is another challenge when you're working with a big model and trying to film it. It's all the stuff that's gonna be in the way of you doing that. Alright, so yeah, I'm just gonna check. Yeah, it looks like most of that silver's worked its way in. There we go. So just with like a little bit, just see what that's gonna do on an area that's, yeah, okay. We can deal with that. So again, I'm gonna try and just target like some muscle groups, some raised areas on him to bring back a little bit of that silver. Now that that wash has had a chance to take hold. Yeah, just a little bit. Like we're going back to the dragon just a little bit. You know. Like I said, it's all kind of a menagerie of stuff tonight. There we go. You can see how let's lighten that area up a little bit. I feel like I should maybe reset the camera because the lighting is no bueno over there. Alright. So we're gonna bring this guy up and over. Whoop. I'm learning how to be a cinematographer and improve my painting skills all in like one go. Bear with me, friends. Alright. There we have it. So yeah, as you can kind of see, the silver is being brought back a little bit in some of these areas. You can tell right here it's really dark. And over here it's gotten a little bit lighter with our little dry brushing technique. Some people might already kind of know this, like how to do this. Others might not. It took me a hot minute to kind of pick up on dry brushing when I first started. So I think it's always important to, you know, go over some of the basics from time to time, just for our new friends who are just now joining us. whether it's live or in the replay. So always good to just have a little refresher. So I'm going to start a little bit too much paint. I want it to just kind of hit the scales. Really, I mean, I don't really need it to go anywhere else. Just on the scales, make them very contrasty. As I'm doing it out of frame. Slowly but surely you'll start to see this take shape. It's a game of patience, this one. Let's try a little bit on his mohawk. I might just end up needing some more paint. See if I can get a good angle of that. So yeah, you can kind of see, if I can zoom up real close, you can kind of see the little outlines on the scales as well as this little mohawk. I was kind of just picking that back up again. I'm definitely gonna need more paint. We'll give a nice, healthy ketchup packet squeeze on our silver paint. There we go. Just working my way around the model at my own pace. And again, you can kind of see where it's picked up on the edges and such things. Kind of trying to be careful around the blue wings to avoid as much over. How's it going, Robert Phillips? Good to see you again. How you doing? How you doing? I'm trying to work through this backlog I got of models and such, so we can keep the gravy train rolling, so to speak, and get on to some other projects. So I mean, half the trick of this dry brushing is just fast, light strokes to pick up on raised edges mostly. Not really looking for coverage in this game. Just more like highlights, essentially. Calvinoni, the one and only, has entered the chat, everyone. Welcome, Cal. Taking some time to work a little bit on this dragon. We've got your orcs and dwarves are on the chopping block for tonight too, so hoping to get some sealing done on the ones that are basically finished, and maybe a little bit of we're going to be doing some work on some of the other ones that are need it as well. Oh boy. Well, hey, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Just happy to see you when we get to see you. I'm really liking how this dry brushing is turning out on this bad boy. It's turning out quite well. It's a monster model for sure. I'm not used to working with models that are this large. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna take it that far. We're just gonna highlight the arms. No, my dragon. There you go. This is this dragon will actually be going to Bill Sylvie. He was kind enough when I was first starting out to send one of his models from his collection, a 1980s Grenadier Red Dragon, over to the channel to be painted. And so because he took a chance on us, and you know, a lot of the PML family is cross-pollinated with Mr. Sylvie's channel as well, I thought it would be kind of nice to show a little extra appreciation. And instead of one dragon, he's gonna get two, because Heck, why not? I didn't tell him when it was coming. Well, I think I told him it was gonna be like a couple of weeks, and that was like months and months ago. So. I'm honestly extremely happy with the fact that, you know, Cal sent models too, you know, his stuff to get painted, because as a painter, I work at my own like personal pace, you know, and so a lot of the time I don't realize exactly how long some of these projects are going to take, because I I'm not a total perfectionist, but I do like to make sure stuff's done right. And in order to do that, it just takes a lot of time. Especially with projects like Cal's, you know, it's a uniformed army, you know. Oh boy. How's it going, Dull Rusty Knife? It's good to see ya. You been out racing, Dull Rusty Knife? Well, it's the winter time. What am I talking about? It shows you how much I know about sports, period. Which is very little. Yeah, this would definitely be the off season. Yeah, paint Biggie's live for sure. Ooh, baby, baby. Okay, that was a bad joke. Trying to quote Biggie Smalls on a show about painting miniatures. Flip you around. The body is looking good. Legs are looking good. I think it's just down to the tail part here. Bringing back that good old luster of silver after we've washed it all back. Fixing up the cars. Nice, nice. Have you been working on your green Mustang? That one's gonna get under his skin. All right. I think we're gonna do one more pass on this dragon's kind of neck scales up here. I don't think they quite caught as much paint as I wanted. just a quick little process anyways. Another drop in the pallet here. I mean, this was kind of all this guy needed before I was thinking that this project was going to come to a close, so. And then start sealing them up. Hey, you should. You should. I still want to come over and play with you at some point. I think that'd be a lot of fun. It's a maneuvering challenge, friends. Okay. Alright. I'm good. I think that's fine. That'll do what it needs to do. But anywho, yeah, our, let's see. Can we zoom all the way out? Yeah, there you go. So we brought back a bit of luster on our dragon. I think it looks pretty good. I think we picked up a decent amount of paint on the scales where it needed to go. Yeah, we're looking pretty. We're looking pretty. I think that is more than doing it for me. I'm just going to make sure there aren't any little marks or anything. Okay. Alright. So now we're going to go back on to, yeah, it's a adult silver dragon. Welcome, Mercury Wells. Good to see you, good to see you. Tonight we are painting a little bit of the adult silver dragon. This project is going to get the stamp of closed and ready to go here in just a couple of minutes once we start sealing it with matte varnish. I'm going to get me out. I don't really have any giant fan brushes, but I'm just going to make sure this one's... Let's see, what do we have for a nice soft boy? It's been around a little while, so I'm just gonna dust it off in some places that I think might have collected some stuff. Anything you seal in there with that varnish is gonna stay, so I tend to just go through and make sure there's no little bits of stuff that might have been floating around that aren't supposed to be there. Cool beans. Hey, what's going on, Frost and Fist? Mythos, you were looking sharp. I saw your short, one of your shorts. I think it was a recent one, anyways. I don't know. I was just kind of scrolling during lunchtime, and I saw that short. You were looking real sharp, man. Oh boy. You got some RPG time last night after a 20-year hiatus. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. I hope you had a good time there, Mercury Wells. So I got it in my head that I'd like to figure out a quieter solution for the airbrush spray booth, and I've got a couple ideas going on, but not 100% sure when or what will happen with that, but we'll have to just kind of deal with it for a while, folks. And I'm pretty sure you can pick me up all right through with the audio, but well, you know, you gotta spill the tea here, Mercury Wells. You gotta tell us about it, you know? Spill the beans. What happened? What were you doing? What were you playing? What were you wearing? What were you wearing? Who are you wearing? That's the phrase. Who are you wearing? I'm gonna get our matte varnish medium here. Again, this is just ye old simple Vallejo matte varnish. I'm gonna get this on the paint shaker. I like to shake everything. It's worth it. I like to shake hands. I like to shake my matte varnish. I like to shake my paints. The imagination's the limit there. Anywho, I'm gonna get this on the paint shaker. I'm gonna turn my mic off for that just because it's a little bit loud, and then we'll get into the spray booth and have ourselves a time. Nice road march. Oh yeah, ye old Vallejo. You know, it's just ye old. Power Rangers. You're the yellow Ninja Ranger with super nunchucks called Bruce. I'm vaguely familiar with the show, but it's very. I'm not all on the finer points of it. It was a hoot. Lots of Monty Python references and shenanigans. I feel like that's what Power Rangers should ultimately be. Is just, you know, that, essentially. And you definitely should. You definitely should. You can find them on Lulu. You know what? Here you go. Here's the other show's banner. You can go ahead and check that out. I'm sure if you go to Lulu and then just put in that N to Keck Publishing, you can find his stuff on there, physical copies. Or you can go to Drive Through RPG and find his stuff there. Got a lot of love for James over here on PML. He's a creator for the people, for sure. All right, so we got our airbrush. We got our matte varnish. The next two things you're going to want to have is definitely some thinner. This stuff comes out real thick. You're going to want some airbrush thinner for this. Again, ye old Vallejo. And then you're going to want airbrush flow improver. I put this with everything. This is what is it? Mike's Red Hot? Is it Mike's Red Hot? Who makes the Red Hot? Who makes the Red Hot sauce? I put that crap on everything. What is it? I feel like it's Mike's Red Hot sauce, isn't it? Oh, no, it's Frank's. It's Frank's. Yeah, Frank's Red Hot sauce. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, yes, airbrush flow improver is essentially the Frank's Red Hot of airbrushing, in my opinion. That's, no matter who you get it from. You could get it from Vallejo, you could get it from whoever. It's all the same stuff. It's like some glycerin, soap, maybe a couple other things in there, but yeah, trust me, it's the Franks. Thank you very much for coming in clutch and saving the joke there, Frost and Fist. Appreciate it. Or I guess it would be a metaphor. All right. So I'm going to start off flow improver in the cup first. We're going to put like 3 or 4 drops in there. This is just to lubricate the needle a little bit and get stuff flowing where it needs to. We're going to then put a couple drops of our thinner. I'll put like 4 drops of thinner in there. And this is like you're making a sandwich out of this. This is at least the way that I do it. But you're making a sandwich out of there because this is going to suspend somewhere in the middle. Oh, okay. All right. We had some stuff settling in the background there. Excuse me. But essentially, you're going to, sandwich this. It's going to suspend itself between the liquid we put under it and the liquid we put on top of it. Another thing you're going to want to do is just check the cap of this. Since it dries clear, some of that gunk can get in your airbrush. But yeah, so now I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, approximately 6 drops in there. We're going to start with that, see how much more we're going to need. And then to top it all off, I'm just going to use some flow improver. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, approximately same amount, and we're going to see what that does to it. A lot of this is going to be just by feel. You're going to eyeball this while it's in your airbrush. If you're doing this with a rattle can, same spray painting method applies. You're just going to hold it 6 to 10 inches away from your model, and I'll show you a little later on, but when you start to see it look really wet, just stop. Otherwise, you're going to get spidering. Even from a spray can, you'll get it'll create a nasty looking spider web on it. Or you'll get runs and other things. You don't want that. You don't want that. What you're going to want is just a nice, even coat. Most of the time, it's just patience. Down to patience. Pop some bubbles down there. So when it starts in the paint pot, when it starts to look like kind of skim milk, that's the stuff right there. That's what you're gonna want. All right. Let me get the spray booth on, and we'll get rocking. All right. I think we're gonna take it like one wing at a time, and then, yeah, we're gonna take it one wing at a time, I think. And this is where you can kind of run your airbrush almost at full bore on a project like this. You're going to need to cover so much area. So now here's the tricky fun part. You're gonna have to try, you try and get in there with the varnish on all the little bits. We're almost already out of our varnish here in the color cup. You're gonna run through quite a bit of this if you're doing a model of this size. And there we go. That's... yeah, I forgot how much coverage we're gonna need. Alright, we'll say it was good to see you, Road March. Good to see you as always. Hey, what's going on, Lord Corion? It's good to see you. How you doing tonight, friend? Did, we're painting up a adult silver dragon right now for Mr. Sylvie. Well, we're sealing an adult silver dragon for Mr. Sylvie. Feeling a little sick and you're gonna have some Thai food. Alright. Well, if you've got a clogged nose, I'm sure that Thai food is gonna do it for you. What's going on, Von Gifford? Good to see you. Wow, is this the... It's the miniature painter's version of the Breakfast Club going on, huh? Everybody's having Thai food. I had a salad. I'm on that high protein diet. Another thing I kind of recommend with this is to wear some gloves. Getting this varnish on your hands, it'll make them sticky for like quite a while. It can be a little bit tough to get off. So I'd kind of recommend wearing some gloves with this procedure. Oh, how's it going? The Dungeon Minister's popping on too. Oh my gosh. We got everybody coming up in here tonight. All the All-Stars are in the house. Oh yeah, that's right. Dungeon Minister's got a session going on for the Guac this year. And there we have it. Gonna have to refill the pot again. Alright. We'll say, take it easy there, Dungeon Minister, and have fun lurking. Always good to see you. Start off with a little bit more flow improver in the pot. I don't think we're gonna need too much more. This dragon's almost done. I think we just need a little bit more. Dungeon Minister activates the cloaking device. It's like the Romulan. He's a Romulan. That's his thing. Gonna sauce some thinner in the cup too. Just, at this point, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Dungeon Minister. pardon me. Who's the Vulcan? Oh, probably RPG Grandma. She's got the logic going on. I think Mr. Bill Sylvie is definitely the Klingon in that equation. And, I think I'm the Andorian. Well, you know, RPG Grandma actually does have a picture on the Paint Minis Live Discord of her dressed up as a Klingon. And it is really well done. Like, scary well done. Alright, friends. I think we're gonna leave that guy to set and dry. Von Gifford's the Ferengi. Well, just don't come looking for Umox over here there, Von Gifford. You'd be looking for a different channel. I think that's maybe some kind of massage therapy channel. Alright, so with this, I don't usually run a bunch of liquid through the airbrush. Well, I use a bunch of liquid through the airbrush, but I think what I'm trying to spit out is that I'm gonna run a bunch of thinner. I don't usually run a ton of chemicals through the airbrush. It's usually just water, but I'm gonna run a ton of thinner through this because this is gonna gum up your airbrush if you let it sit. So I think it's worth putting in a ton of thinner through it. I'm just gonna grab a ratty old brush here. See if there's anything else that's in the paint cup that I can remove with the brush. So, and then we're just gonna shoot it right through the disposal pot. It doesn't smell the best, but tympanic tickle. But yeah, we're gonna run a ton of thinner through this. Oh boy. I think you'd be selling it for vials of liquid platinum then. Just for good measure, I'm going to pump some water through our airbrush too. The Dabo girls. Alright. That should be good enough for me. Alright. Well, that was a big project that I'm happy to be done with. Let's check out some of Cal's Abyssal Orcs and Dwarves. We'll get to checking those guys out and seeing what needs done with them. Man, if I can have Cal's Orcs and Dwarves done by like Thursday would be absolutely beautiful. I'd love to have to have his stuff done. And on the way out, I'm gonna give my hands a chance to breathe. All right. Let's get all these guys out on the table here. You know what I think they need? The orcs need their teeth painted. That's what's going on. That's why they don't look done. They look like they need their teeth painted really bad. They're still skin tone. Hubba hubba. Let's get you back up here. Trying to play the cameraman. Alright. There we go. Yeah, I think they need their teethies painted. Yeah, check this guy out. Yeah, I think he could use his teeth painted. He's looking good, but he's missing the toothers. Some eyeballs. And that's a pretty easy fix. I mean, all we gotta do is just break out a little bit of this pale yellow. I really like to use for teeth and claws. It shows up really well. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself here while the paint shaker does its lovely work instead of my wrist, and we'll be right back. Well, thank you very much, Lord Corian. I appreciate the compliment. We have another dude in here with a pretty epic shield motif too. Yeah, this guy with the laughing face going on. This guy's always fun to check out. I was really happy with the way his shield turned out with the scrolling, like the scroll on it. Yeah, these are kind of what Cal's dwarves have turned to be. Alright. So I'm gonna get my palette out. We're gonna go ahead and get a little paint on there. A little bit of water on the brush. We're just gonna see how much we can thin this down. I kind of just thin it by feel at this point. I like my paint a little bit thicker than most. Um, nice one, Von Gifford. But yeah, I do tend to I do then do tend to thin my paint just a little bit thicker than most do. A lot of people recommend like a milk kind of consistency, but for me, I rather enjoy having it be a little bit thicker. You know what? Okay. I can already tell that this is going to require some, maybe a little retarder medium. So this is Vallejo's retarder medium. It comes out real thick and gloopy. It seems like it's almost like a concentrated soap in essence, but just like a little bit of this goes a long way. Just a little dot of this medium. Then you mix it in with your paint and it stops it from drying. Like, I mean, I'm trying to hit something that's smaller than a grain of rice with this brush, and I don't want the paint to dry on the tip before I've gotten it actually onto the model. So if you can get some of this retarder medium mixed in with your paint, it stops it from drying as quickly without chemically changing the properties of the paint itself. Like I said, it does, you're gonna probably run through quite a bit more water to re-thin it down, but this is also gonna slow down the dry time by like a lot. It's kind of a trade-off, but in my mind, I think it's probably worth it. There you have it. Using that retarder medium, if I can get the camera to focus, you can kind of see how we managed to hit each individual tooth. And I mean, this brush is, that's how big we're painting with, but like, I mean, you can hit each individual one. Oh yeah. That's what we like to hear around here at Paint Minis Live. Something nice and easy to listen to. I thought they were kind of missing something. Those teeth are kind of making it for me. You know, I don't know why, but it's like when I'm painting models, when I'm painting models, I start thinking about other things pretty quickly. And one thing I'm excited for is Claricon in October up in good old Canada. But it reminded me that I need to check out my passport. So if you're thinking about going to Claricon and you're living in the States, I want to check that passport and see if it's expired. Because right about now would probably be a good time to get that ball rolling, so that you can cross over into Canada nice and easy. Well, thank you very much, Dungeon Minister. I appreciate the compliment. We got some nice chompas going on with these works. So as you can see, you know, adding a little bit of this retarder medium to your paint, if you're doing some extremely, like, extreme detail like this, can really kind of save your butt. Painted it in one. Very nice, Dungeon Minister. I have not heard that, but now I gotta go look it up. I mean, you're right in a way there, Von Gifford, about the young hands thing, but in my mind, it's all just tricks of the trade, to be honest. Like how you hold your piece while you're working on it. I'll give you a little bit of a zoom out. My hands are rested both on the bench you know, my elbows are on the bench. It's like everything your mom taught you to do at the dining room table does not apply to painting. It is, yeah, you have your elbows on the table, and then you kind of ball your hands together. And then you're using like 3 fingers. I mean, this is basically Chinese calligraphy style holding a brush. Well, I guess Chinese calligraphy would be more like more like this. But you can see how much fine motor control you have over something you have in your hand with 3 fingers. So that's kind of my trick to do it. And then I guess, yeah, having young eyes is probably a big help. But you could get some magnifiers, to be honest. Like, I have seen some extremely impressive stuff come out of some old dude's basement. You know, model train works that are ridiculously small scale. So anybody can do this. It's just a matter of time, patience, a little bit of believe in yourself type magic, and you know, you got yourself a finely painted mini, all for yourself. Another thing is that my brush hand doesn't do any of the work in maneuvering around the model. Most of it is my offhand, changing the position of the model, which leaves my brush hand able to, you know, abort a brush stroke when I need to. It'll also tend to maneuver the model in various ways. You know, move your piece, not your brush. That's kind of a big one for me. It's just moving the piece more than the brush. The brush is there to apply the paint. How you move the piece is where the paint's gonna go, in essence. I see a lot of, like, when I first started out, and what I see a lot of with some folks out there when they first start painting a model, they'll hold it up in their hand, and they'll hold it up by like 2 fingers like this, and you end up with a lot of wobbles or whatever, and they're trying to paint it. They're trying to paint it like this, and they're moving the brush all over the place, but that causes a lot of paint to go in places you're not really wanting it to go. So having both that stability, both elbows on the table, you're grasping your model, you know, deep in your claws, or however you're going to hold it, just in a steady way. You know, you can have your finger wrapped around it, and then your thumb over the base or on some legs or whatever, and then just, you know, like I said, kind of going down into the model, and your brush is just moving to get that paint around. It's hard to film, but you know, that's the gist of it. All right, so our orcs are looking good. I think I'm pretty happy with them. What are we checking out on time here? Yeah. Hey, I mean, I don't have a good example, but there are also like soldering armatures too, and you can get good at like painting with the brush, you know, but at that point you're going to be almost like pistol gripping your brush, and you're going to want something that's high up in the air. You know, I'll break it out for show. Move these guys out of the way. So essentially, I haven't used this in a long time, but essentially you'd be looking at something like this, which has not only a magnifier on it, which is, you can tell, and it's got a light ring powered by LEDs and USB essentially, but it's got these alligator clamps on it, and I would probably put, I'm not gonna do it for, let's see here. Well, yeah, we could. So essentially, you'd be having your piece held in place with some of these alligator clamps to hold her nice and steady for you. And then you'd be sitting here like this. You'd have your elbow, at least one elbow on the table, with your brush in hand, and you'd be kind of picking out your details. Preferably two elbows, but yeah. And then this armature will keep your piece nice and steady, and you'll be the one having to move more than the model will. But that's one thing you can do, and you'll find that you'll end up with a lot less missed brush strokes than if you hadn't had any assistance whatsoever. But again, I haven't used this in a while. I've seen people use like soldering iron type armatures. And they're pretty cheap. You can find them on Amazon. A lot of the time they're used for stuff like soldering projects. I would recommend trying to find one with like where the alligator clips are dipped in like a not really sticky, but a grippy plastic or grippy whatever they dunk, like vinyl or something like that. I don't know, something with a little bit of grip to it, but they're coated in that so that they don't dig into your model if you're gonna not use plant an armature on it with like a hot glue gun and sticking them to bases like this that I've done here with my own little wooden bases. If you're just gonna clip it by this thing, I'd highly recommend getting one that's been dipped in some kind of rubber. But yeah. So let's pick out all the guys that are done. This guy's done. I think one of them doesn't have a beard color yet. We did some black beards, some red beards for our dwarves. I'm just gonna sort through them here. Yeah, this guy isn't quite as far along, so I'm gonna put him in the band of stragglers. Before our retarder medium kicks the can here, we're gonna make sure that double skull here. What did you call him, Dungeon Minister? If you're still around, I forget what you called this guy, but it was really funny. It was like double noggin or something like that. Can't remember. Anywho, this is our brave orc warlord. Alright, they all have teeth. I'm satisfied with that. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wash this guy in particular. I'm not gonna do this with the rest of them, but just because this guy's wearing a skull as a helmet, I kind of feel like he needs a little oomph from the Reikland Flesh Shade. So we're gonna just wash him a little bit. I'm gonna put this all around that skull. This is, you know, desirable staining, I suppose. For me, I want the coffee stain effect on the skull itself. This is gonna brown up that yellow a little bit further and give it a very nice kind of dry skull patina, as well as put a little bit of shade where it needs to go. Make sure to kind of target in between the teeth. Is going to look really nice. Whatever else this lands, I'm not really too concerned about. There we go. Like I said, just kind of gives it a really nice dried out skull effect going on. It'll look even better when it's dried, but that'll give you kind of an idea of what we shot for and how we got it. All right. So now the orcs and these dwarves are definitely ready to go. So we can go ahead and get our airbrush ready. Sitting on about an hour and a half for the stream so far. We got 4 live chat lounge cats in the stream tonight. So far, right now, right here, right now, we got all them lounge cats. I'm gonna go ahead. Got a little bit of buildup on the cap here. So I'm just going to take care of that with a dental pick real quick. This just kind of can happen with some of the varnish. It'll build up on this crown. I'll have to pick it off. You can see that right there was build up from the matte varnish. And it's not, you know, a huge problem, but it can affect your spray pattern a little bit. It's all a bunch of malarkey. Oop. All right, friends. Now we're going to go ahead and seal these guys. I believe if I remember right, Cal wanted two coats of matte varnish on his orcs and his dwarves here. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and do that for his models. We have 6 live chat lounge cats in the studio tonight. Thank you guys for being here. All right. Bear with me just a moment while I reconfigure the camera for the spray booth. Might help if I zoom this out a bit. Alright. So right about there is looking good. That Bill has some really cool interviews, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, we're gonna turn the spray booth on. We'll get these guys sealed up. We're gonna start with a couple drops of flow improver. Then we're gonna put in a couple of drops of thinner. We're gonna grab our matte varnish. Throw in a nice healthy serving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, approximately. We'll throw one more in there, 6. I have a feeling we'll go through a decent amount of it. So we got 6 of those guys. And a little bit more flow improver to top it all off with. Now we'll just start going ahead and spraying these guys down. Oh, there we go. Oh boy. Well, that's no bueno. Let's see what's going on there. I haven't had that happen before. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're back. We're back. All right. Now don't touch it. It's working. Well, thank you very much there, Von Gifford, for the compliment. I do appreciate it. I think this entire project came out pretty good. I know one thing that Cal really didn't want was green orcs. He made that really clear. He didn't want them to be green, which I can understand. You know, some people don't like green orcs. So we made them dirty pig pink instead, because that, to me, is the skin tone color they got. It's like a pig that's been out in the mud. Pig orcs, not Warcraft orcs. Got it. So you can kind of see how it starts to shine when you're doing this. It'll start to shine, and that's kind of how you know you got enough on there. You go much further than that, it's gonna start running on you. You really don't want that. Some people go a bit thinner than I do, but Cal wanted these really sealed up well, so I'm gonna make sure he gets them sealed up very well. It's a pretty quick process once you get into it. Anyways, like, it's a couple extra seconds per model, but I'm not all that worried about it. Especially because I can put on 2 coats of this pretty quick with the airbrush. There's our orcs down. Now we're just off to our dwarves. Oop. There we go. We got a dwarf down. Dwarf down. There we go. We're out of our sealer. So we got like 4 more models to go, and then I think might chit chat just a little bit and call it a stream. I'm starting to get a little tired. I got a little frazzled at the gym today. It was quite the workout. It's a bit of a monotonous task, you know, getting these guys all put together, but I think it's worth it to, you know, do the stream about it. I'm sure there's going to be some folks who stumble across this and maybe it helps them out, so it's important to not only show the pizzazzy stuff, but also show the things that are just technically important. Like how to seal your models so that they last you know, they're able to be played with and you don't have to worry about the paint sloughing off of them. Group. Trying to hold it very lightly because I don't want any prints in the varnish. And there we have it, friends. That is all of Cal's Orcs and Dwarves now sealed in varnish, which is a big accomplishment. We are like literally on the cusp of ending this project and getting Cal back as minis after like 5 months. Which, hey, I think I think we did a pretty good job. I'm gonna toss some thinner in the cup here. I'm just cleaning out the color cup with a little bit of thinner and a brush. This is gonna help me to make sure there's no leftover matte varnish that's gonna dry up in there, because I really don't want it to. It's kind of like the last thing I want happening is to have the airbrush actually varnish itself, because getting that off is really hard when it's dry. All right. Got to do a showcase video. Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, Thursday we're going to work on the like 5 stragglers I think we have left with this project, and by that point I'll have my photo booth reset up, and we can just put the like Uber camera up in the photo booth, and we can do some showcase shots live on stream. So that should be a fun bit of stream for us to enjoy. I might even throw a little bit more thinner through that. Yeah, I think... What else do we have coming around the corner? I gotta get a hold of TJ to just say, hey. Let me get that out of here. We got a little bit of... There we go. Yeah, I might get a hold of TJ and tell him to get that oh man. Every single time, I'm telling you. What is the name of the googly-eyed meatball? Observer? Is it a no, it's not Observer. God, every time I can't remember the name of this blasted creature. It's the meatball with the googly eyes and that are up on top of it, and then the one big eye in the middle. Spectator? Beholder. Yeah, Beholder, that's what it is. Yeah. My gosh. If it weren't for Von Gifford, I'm telling you, I would never remember the name of this thing. Thanks for the help. But yeah, I'll tell TJ to get his Beholder on the way, so that we can paint that up at a future date. I've been thinking about a lot of things for the future. I know that we've got Road March really wants a 12-hour live stream thing. That might be possible, like farther out into the future. I have thought about doing some reconstruction live streams for our mascot. You know, obviously Wednesday is going to be role play Wednesday. You know, where we invite James over when he's available, and the crew too, and so we'll have that going on. But yeah, Monday and Thursday is going to be like, what are we gonna do next? I have a ton of minis to paint up. Um, Thanks to Cal again for sending the miniatures in trade for the time we spent on his orcs and dwarves here. We have a huge box of minis to go through. Um, we can check some of them out real quick. They're really high quality sculpts. Uh, One of my favorites here is this stag. I really like this stag for some reason. I don't. Let's get this on the cool camera, the cool kids camera. But yeah, we have a nice stag to paint. This white stag. I think that would be kind of a fun paint job to do. So we have that to look forward to. We have this old like chicken-legged witch going on. She's wearing chicken legs as like stilts or something, but she could be kind of cool to paint up. We've got some standard fare, you know. We've got a wolf, some woodland creatures, kind of wolf and things, you know. So we'll have plenty of monsters and things to paint. We've got a like a centipede looking thing here too. But we got, you know, we have a ton of these different minis to paint up. And I think that would kind of be fun to break up a little bit of what we've got going on. Just some time taken to explore some other creative, fun pieces of mini to do. But yeah, we got all kinds of stuff, you know. And thanks again, Cal. I appreciate it. These guys are going to be on their way to you like shortly, man, like really shortly. I know you've been waiting for forever and a day, and I do apologize. But hopefully they exceed your expectations, and you'll be really happy with them. So look out for Paint Minis Live on let's see here. Yeah, so tomorrow night. Tomorrow night at 8:45 Central Standard Time, or whatever time you're in. You can check that time if you click the little dingy bell icon. You can find it what time the stream is in your local time zone. You want to click that thing. But yeah, invite a friend to come and hang out while we finish out this project, or spread the word about it. Or whatever other material from PML you want to send them, and just say, hey, check this out. I'd be tickled pink if you do. Anywho, a big thank you to everybody out there who supports PML. I do appreciate it. Oh boy, all right. Yeah, all right. Saved by the Bell here. Are there any beginners mini sets you'd recommend? That is a good question. What sets have I gone through that are pretty beginner centric? I mean, as far as it goes for like D&D stuff, I really haven't been exposed to a ton of them, like a ton of model sets. I would say just go to your local hobby shop and pick up, I've got this elf wizard here, from straight up the WizKids line. Like these models that you don't have to assemble. All you got to do is focus in on the painting part. This is going to be your most beginner friendly option, I would say. And what I would recommend is to prime it yourself. Pick up a bottle of primer or spray prime it, whatever you want to do with it. But I'd recommend something like this, a one-piece model. would be pretty beginner friendly. Cal, I would refer to him too, because I mean, dude's been collecting these things for quite some time and has quite the extensive collection. So, what he says would probably be another good bet. Game Master sets with paint and brush, minis from Army Painter. Saw some today at your local FLGS. Yeah, all right. So, there's another good option. Yeah, I mean, you could pick up a set, like a small set. The whole thing is to just see if you like doing it, I guess. That's kind of what you're looking for. I'll have to look into that a little bit more and maybe try some sets out that would be a bit more beginner friendly and do maybe like a little video series on that or something of the sort. But I am absolutely pooped. It was a fun night hanging out with everyone. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Cal Vanoni, the one and only. Thank you, Von Gifford. Thank you, Dungeon Minister. Appreciate you being here. Thank you to Lord Corion for showing up. Thank you to Frosted Fists for hanging out with us. Thank you to Mercury Wells for being here. Thank you to, let's see here, who else we got? Thank you to Dull Rusty Knife, who's fixing up cars in anticipation for racing in the future. Check out Dull Rusty Knife if you haven't and you're into car racing. He does racing stuff. Cool guy. Check him out. Thank you to Road March as well, and this not last but not least, the one and only Scrub Sapien. Thank you everyone for being here. If you're in the replay and you've made it this far, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And we will see you again on Thursday. So everybody take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you again real soon. All right, bye-bye.